The FBI has been working with corporations to get their hands on your personal data in order to create profiles of American citizens.
So this specific story, what we found out here is that for years and years, the FBI has been going up to corporations, Facebook, Google, AT&T, Verizon, the usual suspects. And what they do is they go up to the corporation and say, hey, we need information, everything that you have on John Smith. We need addresses, we need phone numbers, we need IP addresses, we need everything about this guy. We don't have a warrant because we don't need a warrant. Give us the info. And by the way, after you give us the info, you have to sign this gag order saying that you're not going to tell John Smith that we, the FBI, just took all of his data. Until, of course, as this article pointed out, eventually these gag orders do eventually expire. And then at that point, the corporation can decide, well, should we tell John Smith that this happened, that the FBI's watching him, or should we just let it go? And most of the time, the companies just say, we're not going to tell the people that the FBI is spying on them.
Let me back up on this story just a little bit. I don't think there's anybody, Farron, that has done more of these stories about, whether it's AT&T, Verizon, Google, that has been spying on us for a long time. Not only spying us, but overtly working with the spook industry. Now, it's not just they're spying on us. They're taking orders from the spook industry to spy on us. Okay, now, if you'll recall the church hearings that took place, Frank Church brought hearings and said, look, there has to be a limitation on the involvement of the spook industry in our lives. Because the spook industry, the NSA, FBI, CIA, they were so active during that period of the church hearings that they were actually targeting journalists. Seymour Hersh, whether it was true or not, he came out and said, look, they tried to kill me. And story after story was emerging in the church hearings about how bad it had gotten. Seems like we've forgotten it. We have NSA and FBI have worked with Apple to access customers. Go ahead. What are some of the other stories? It's unbelievable.
We have obviously AT&T, Verizon, all the big mobile carriers have been working with the FBI and NSA since the Patriot Act was passed. I mean, in the very early days of that, they jumped up and said, listen, we're here to work with you. We have call logs. We have records and data and location services. You tell us what you want, we're going to give it to you. And in exchange, these companies get massive government contracts. Same thing has happened with Google, who is also working with the NSA. Same thing has happened with Facebook and Amazon, because they work with the FBI. It's across the board. And it's not just limited to, this isn't something that just happened. You pointed out the church hearings. There's also evidence going back to, the Civil War of the government using private companies to spy on Americans.
How about this? How about the FBI infiltrating labor unions?
Right.
To where they, and so what I'm trying to say is, I realize they don't teach civics in class anymore, because everything in class right now is need to know. You got to pass a test. They don't teach civics. They don't teach, they don't teach why this is important. So the average millennial American right now says, I'm not doing anything wrong. Why should I worry about any of this? But if you'll go back, if anybody watching this broadcast will go back and look at how involved the spook industry was in the lives of Americans during the Nixon years, where they were going out and literally targeting, they targeted Martin Luther King, they targeted the Kennedys, they targeted Malcolm X. You had J. Edgar Hoover, this weird bird who used to dress up like Shirley Temple at night, lived with his mother at night, and during the day he turns into this draconian character that is spying on all of America. And so, we have to reevaluate. Those church hearings were important, and they're still relevant today, aren't they?
Right, and the people need to understand this never stopped. The church hearings, as great as they were at exposing all of this, it didn't put an end to it. It just let us know it was happening. Edward Snowden's revelations, when he came out with all this info, that doesn't mean it stopped. It just means now we know about it. And of course, the public has an attention span of about 5 minutes. They forget. You're being spied on right now. If you're on social media, if you're on Google, anything, they've got your name.
They absolutely do. Farron Cousins, thank you for joining me. I want to pick up on the Saudi Arabia story next week. We're going to learn a lot more. It's going to get a lot uglier, I'm sure.